Getting ready for your GCSE Religious Studies exam? I know, it can sometimes feel like you're trying to crack a secret code. But don't you worry, because over the next few minutes, we're going to give you the key. Let's just dive right in.
First up, the biggest question on everyone's mind. What is the deal with AO1 and AO2? You see these codes everywhere, right? But what do they actually mean for your marks? Honestly, getting this right is the absolute key to unlocking the entire exam.
So officially, they just stand for Assessment Objective 1 and Assessment Objective 2. The exam uses them to test not just what you know, but how well you can analyze and evaluate and really argue with that knowledge. You can think of them as two sides of the very same coin.
Let's break it down really simply. Think of AO1 as the what. This is all your knowledge. What are the beliefs? What are the practices? These are the facts. AO2, on the other hand, is the so what. It's all about taking that knowledge and actually using it. Why does this stuff matter? What are the different arguments you could make? So the bottom line is this. AO1 shows what you know, and AO2 shows how you think.
Okay, with that sorted, let's actually walk through the exam paper itself. We're going to break down every single question, from that quick little 2-marker all the way up to the big 15-mark essay, so you know exactly what you need to do.
Let's start with question A. This is your 2-mark starter, and the skill here is super simple. Define. The examiner just wants to see that you know what a key term means. That is literally it.
And it's so easy to get these marks. First, just give a clear, precise definition. Then, if you think it helps, add a quick example. So if the term is ahimsa, you just write something like the principle of nonviolence towards all living things, which is important in religions like Hinduism and Buddhism. Now here's a key tip from the examiner reports. Keep these answers short. It saves you so much time for the bigger questions, and you really don't need to fill all the lines.
All right, on to the 5-mark B question. The skill you need here is to describe. Now you're being asked to lay out your knowledge on a topic in a bit more detail.
So how do you structure it? Well, a fantastic way is the PEEL method. You make your point, then you support it with evidence, maybe a teaching or a quote. Then you explain what that evidence actually means, and finally, you link it all back to the question. If you do this for 2 separate, well-developed points, you'll be securing those 5 marks no problem.
Okay, now for the C question. We're leveling up to 8 marks, and the skill is changing from describe to explain. And that means you need to show the reasoning behind beliefs or practices. Really get into the why.
But listen up, there is a huge pitfall here, and this is flagged directly in the examiner's reports. The #1 reason students lose marks on this question is because they forget the golden rule. You must explain views from 2 different religions or traditions. A single, super detailed viewpoint, no matter how good it is, just won't get you those top marks.
The solution? It's actually really simple. You just use that PEL structure we just talked about, but you do it twice. So 1 full PEL paragraph explaining the viewpoint of your first religion, and then a whole new paragraph for your second one. That is exactly how you meet the question's demands.
Okay, here we go. The final boss of the exam paper, the 15-mark D question. This is where you bring all your AO2 skills to the party. I know it looks intimidating, but with the right strategy, this is your chance to really, really shine.
Let's look at what separates a weak response from a really strong one. A weak answer just lists a bunch of different ideas. It's pure AO1 description. A strong answer, though, builds a proper, coherent argument. It analyzes different views, it uses relevant evidence, and it drives towards a justified conclusion. It's a discussion, you see, not a shopping list.
So here's a rock-solid structure you can use to build your argument. Start with a brief intro where you state your position, then build your case using those PEL paragraphs. You could do 1 paragraph for the statement, another one against it, and maybe a third to explore a more nuanced point. And then finally, a solid conclusion that ties it all together and delivers your final reasoned judgment.
So how do you make your evaluation crystal clear to the examiner? You use evaluative language. Phrases like, this argument is compelling because, or, however, a weakness of this view is, are like signposts for the examiner. They scream, hey, I'm analyzing here, not just describing. This is the absolute hallmark of a top-band answer.
We're almost there. Before we finish up, let's run through a quick-fire round of essential tips and common mistakes to avoid. And these come straight from the people who will actually be marking your papers. So make sure you avoid these common traps. Don't just regurgitate a pre-learned essay that doesn't quite fit the question. Always remember that 2 tradition rule for AQ questions. Double-check your facts. And please, read the command words so carefully. Is it asking how or why? And for goodness sake, don't waste time overriding on the 2-mark questions.
And finally, you have got to know your papers. This is so important. For Component 1, your C questions need 2 traditions, and that life and death question must have non-religious views. But for Components 2 and 3, you focus only on the one specific religion you're studying. Knowing these little rules is such a simple way to pick up easy marks.
So there you have it. The code is pretty much cracked. Try to think of the exam not as a test of your memory, but as an opportunity. You've got all the tools, you've got all the knowledge, and now you have the techniques. Your job is to just go in there and build the very best argument you can. So my final question to you is this. Which question type are you going to go and practice right now? Take everything you've just learned, pick one, and just give it a go. Good luck!